Hi, I'm Steve Irwin with Arizona Prime Real Estate. Today we have Joel Rollins with us. Joel is joining our Prescott sales office. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve.
So Joel, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from Ohio, and I've lived in the Prescott area for 20-something years. I moved down to the Scottsdale area in 2000, and I'm currently living in both places.
Oh, excellent, because you have family in both areas.
Correct.
And so, and I know some of the things that you did in the past, looking at your resume, you did some modeling.
Yes.
You did some athletic modeling. That's interesting. Tell us about that.
Well, I did some athletic modeling for a couple gyms down in Scottsdale, and it was a lot of fun. And I had some other prints and shoots.
Well, excellent. That's very nice. And so what were some of the things that led you to get into real estate as a real estate salesperson?
Well, I've had some not so great experiences before buying and selling, and I really wanted to make a difference and help people and have a career change also. So help people showing what not to do as a realtor.
Because real estate is really a very complex transaction, and buyers and sellers need to be guided through that process.
Correct.
Excellent. All right, Joel. Well, I appreciate you being on the show.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Today's segment, we're shining our spotlight on Kathy Moore. Welcome to the segment, Kathy.
Well, thank you, Steve, for having me. This is quite an interesting situation. Never done this before. And so, what do I do?
So, a lot of our viewers just want to get to know our agents a little bit. So tell us a little bit about you, maybe where you're from, how long you've been in real estate, what kind of got you into the industry.
Well, I actually moved here from California about 28 years ago to Arizona. And then I actually moved here to Prescott in 1999, so about 18 years ago. So I've been in the area, and I really am familiar with the area. And I really got into the real estate business because I was in the home and repair industry for 21 years, working for a company. And it really struck my interest as far as wanting to flip houses and to invest and go in and remodel houses and that sort of thing. And then so after I started doing that and everything, I realized that, I could be buying these homes and selling these homes myself. So I thought, let's go ahead and get my real estate license.
Well, excellent. And how long have you been licensed?
I've only been licensed for about 2 years now.
And you've done a handful of deals?
I have done. I've got about 9-10 transactions so far. And
that's a lot.
Yeah, so I hear it's a lot because I hear a lot of people don't do much in their first 2 years or so. So I feel very grateful for that.
Okay. And so you got into it because of the fix and flips and the investments and all that. And I know you've done both listings and buyers. And so I think that's a good, well-rounded thing. What do you see this year for you in real estate? Are you trying to ramp up your business or maybe doing more investment stuff?
Actually, both. I am going to be investing in another home here shortly and working on flipping that, but I am ramping up my contacts and going to pursue much harder this year, as far as drumming up, more business and getting more clients and stuff, and have one of my best years ever.
Excellent. Well, and
so far.
Yeah. So now, do you prefer working with maybe more new home buyers or more people relocating from? Because I know you relocate from California. Do you have a preference?
Well, not really. I think that the whole idea of getting people in from other states is a good idea because they need to come and see what we've got to offer here in Prescott. It's a very beautiful place to live, and a lot of opportunities around here, even though it is a small town, and a lot of good facilities and things too. But also the ones that have already been living here for some time or everything, when they want to relocate just to another home, it would be comfortable for me too. So
excellent.
Both.
So if a client was interested in contacting you, how would they do that?
Well, you can contact me at Kathy Sells AZ Real Estate at gmail.com, or you can call me at 928-925-4875.
Well, very good. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve Irwin with Arizona Prime Real Estate. Today we have Sunshine Hebert with Mile High Photos. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you very much for having me, Steve.
So in the real estate industry, we sell real estate oftentimes just by the photos, and you're one of the top photographers in the area that does real estate photos. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I love it. It's a great job. I get to travel around and explore all the different houses in the area of Prescott and take photos to help market those homes.
And so you do more than just photos, though. You do drone pictures. You do some other photography in the area too.
Yeah, I do photography for the houses. I also have a drone, and I'll do aerial shots, and I do walk-through video tours as well, and some other kind of specialized marketing videos.
Well, the walkthrough video tours are really kind of huge because that's something new that Zillow had just started using, and it's not quite a virtual tour, but it is a video walkthrough.
No, it's great because a lot of times with photos, you don't get to see how you get from one room to the other. And so the videos really help to show the layout of a house a lot better. And you kind of get a better sense of the home than just with photos.
So, Sunshine, how did you get into this business or this industry? What led you here?
Well, I actually have a friend in town who owns a property management company, Rent Right Management Solutions, and he was one day complaining about how he really needed a photographer in town. And I've done photography my whole life, but not as a job or as a profession. And when he kind of expressed that need, and I looked into it, and I'm like, hey, this town really does need some real estate photography. So yeah, I just kind of jumped right in.
That's good, and you're really good at it. I looked at a property that you'd recently took several photos, along with some drone photos, and they had some really small rooms, and so I don't think I could have took a photo of that. How do you do the smaller rooms and maybe rooms that don't have good light or?
Well, what really helps is having a wide angle lens. So most cameras, you wouldn't really get to see the whole entire room, but the lens I use pretty much shows a full 90 degrees, and that way you can see the whole bathroom or small room with one shot.
And so if a realtor, if I had a listing coming up and I wanted to see if you can come out, how long would it take from start to finish for you to go out, maybe shoot the videos, shoot the photos, and have something I can put in our multiple listing service?
Okay, well, normally what I do is it will take me 24 hours to get the photos back. I usually have them actually the same day, but usually by the next day. But when going out to a house, probably like maybe a 2,000 square foot home will take me about an hour to photograph, and a little longer if you want to do drone photos or a video. But really a walkthrough video doesn't take very long because it's kind of just like when you're walking through the house. Just a few minutes.
Well, let's go ahead and look at the one that you did for my office.
Okay,
All
that
right.
sounds great. Okay, so this was a really fun house to photograph out in Prescott Valley. As you can see, what I usually do is I try to take a few photographs of the front of the house because often that is what I would call the title page, the page that everybody needs to use to click on to see, I want to look at the inside of this house. So I'll take several photographs of the outside of the house. I also, when I was at this house, I flew the drone, and the drone's really fun. Rather than just looking straight down at a property, what I like to try and do is look at an angle so that you can see the surrounding landscape and see the horizon line in the background. It kind of gives a better sense of what the area of this house is. And you can also see, all the mountains in the background and what you might see if you're looking out the window. Now, inside the house, what I do is is a specialty photography called HDR photography, which is high dynamic range imaging. And what it is basically, if you've ever tried to take a photograph inside a house, you can either take the photograph and see inside the room, in which the room's really bright, but the windows get all washed out, or you can see through the windows, but then the room's all dark. So what I will do is take a series of photos from being able to see through the window all the way to being able to have the room be really bright. And when I get home, I overlay those photos all on top of each other. That makes it so that you can see through the windows, the room's really bright, it helps intensify and increase the colors, and it just is a really nice way to shoot homes and to use for real estate photography. So that's just an example of some of the photos that I have taken, and I love doing it. It's a great job. I get to spend half of the day exploring some of the houses around town and half of the day at home working on my computer, and it's great.
And you know, Sunshine, I looked at a lot of traffic patterns on who watches our listings online, on social media, who watches the videos, the virtual tours, and that all starts with great photos. And I have to say, on your photos and the properties that I've seen your pictures on, they do tend to get a lot more traffic, and I think it's because of the quality of the photos.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I do the very best that I can.
Well, I want to thank you for being on this episode.
Yeah, thank you very
Thanks.
much. All right.
Hi, I'm Steve Irwin with Arizona Prime Real Estate. Today we're shining our spotlight on Jacqueline Bindig. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve.
So Jacqueline, you're a real estate agent in our Prescott sales office, and a lot of these segments we want to spotlight our agents, and just so our viewers can get to know our various agents. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I was born and raised in San Diego.
Surfer girl?
I did for about 2 years.
Okay.
My fear of what's under the water stopped me from going any further with that, but it was enjoyable.
Well, and sharks would scare me probably
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than anything. And so from San Diego, you relocated to Arizona?
Yes, when I was about 15, my family moved to Phoenix area. I've been down there for about 10 years now.
Oh,
And
excellent.
then my family and I discovered Prescott about 2 years ago, fell in love, had an opportunity to move up, so we decided to take it, run with it, and I've never felt more at home than I do here.
Oh, excellent. And so I know from reading your resume that you started out in veterinarian clinics and dog kennels and things like that.
Yes, I did that for about a year. That was my first official job. I really enjoyed doing that.
Okay.
Working with animals is one of my things.
Excellent. And then you had went and worked in the hospitality industry for a number of years.
Correct.
And then what brought you to real estate?
I am at my best when I'm helping people. It's one of the scariest and most daunting things that you could do in your life is to buy or sell real estate. It's complicated, and I want to help that be a fun thing and enjoyable.
And maybe take the complexity out of it for
Yes.
home buyers and sellers. Well, excellent. I know you've done a couple of deals already in real estate.
I had a
and
ton
so-
of fun.
And that is a lot of fun.
Yes,
And very rewarding, especially if you enjoy helping people.
it really is.
All right, excellent. Well, Jacqueline, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Steve.
Today we have Kathy Moore, one of our sales agents in our beautiful Prescott sales office. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Steve.
So Kathy, we're constantly getting questions from our viewers, both through email and regular mail, about they're wanting to relocate to the area and they're just not really sure how to do it. So we thought we'd have you on the show to kind of explain to maybe someone's never bought a house before on some of the things that happen. So if a client contacted you and was looking to check out the Prescott area, what are some of the things that you would have talked to them about?
Well, the first thing I would want them to do is have a pre-qualification, make sure of what kind of a price range that we're looking for in order to get the ideas of where to locate.
Okay. And maybe the style or amenities.
Exactly, and between the areas of Prescott, Prescott Valley, Chino, there are totally different scenarios and totally different price ranges and things like that as far as the housing.
Plus all the new developments that are coming on board.
And that's true too.
That's a lot of them. And so now that person has scheduled some time to visit the area, and you have a meeting with them at the office. On your first meeting, and you're sitting down in maybe a conference room or something, how does that work?
Well, basically, we'll just go ahead and go on in there, and I would kind of ask them some more questions and make sure that they did get the pre-qual and that they have that at hand and are readily available. And then we can go ahead and start talking about their criteria, particular areas, what they're looking for as far as whether they want flat land or trees or mountains or rocks or that sort of thing, and looking at their price range. And we can go on the MLS and we can start looking up some of the homes that would be available for that criteria.
Okay, and so now say you selected 3 or 4 homes, you go out and visit the properties, and they found the house that they really want.
Right.
And then how do you go about writing an offer and getting it accepted, and what's that process?
We would go ahead and come back to the office and we'd go ahead and write out the offer. And I would, once that offer was accepted from the seller, then we would go ahead and put that into escrow. And then during that time throughout escrow, they would have their 10 days to getting the inspection period as far as roofs and foundations and termites and whatever else that may be required for the inspection.
Okay, and so once they get through the inspection period, and there's still things like they got to pack up and move, figure out when they get here. Do you kind of guide them through that? Or?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we can certainly give them ideas of companies. There may be some movers or companies that we can offer them and have phone numbers or something so they can get a hold of them and just kind of go from there on that.
Well, excellent. Well, I think you explained the process fairly clear, and I do appreciate you coming on the show today.
Great. Well, thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Hi, my name's Jacqueline Bendig. I'm with Arizona Prime Real Estate, and we're here with Steve Ross today. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you very much.
And what company are you with?
I'm actually with Movement Mortgage and been doing loans for just shy of 19 years now.
Wow, a lot of experience.
A lot of experience. I've kind of been there and done that, and for better or worse, that kind of thing.
And I'm on the real estate end of things. You're on the finance side, and I just learned from you the other day about renovation loans.
They are an amazing tool.
Now, what is a renovation loan?
So a renovation loan is kind of just what it sounds like. It does allow somebody to buy a home and make some changes. Maybe the home isn't big enough. Maybe it's not up to code per se. And this allows them to make those changes to make it a property that they can enjoy safely.
That's awesome, especially in our local market. Sometimes it's a struggle to find a buyer a good home.
It is. I mean, I'm actually in the market myself. We sold our home last year. And there's just not a lot of homes on the market right now, and we're able to look at some homes that are smaller, that have potential to be built onto and added on.
There are a lot of fixer-uppers.
There are quite a few.
Yes. And in today's market, what's the benefit of using a renovation loan?
Well, it can really help you and your clients get into their dream home without spending years looking for it.
Okay. And what types of properties are eligible?
So eligible properties, you're looking at single-family homes, which is just your typical site-built home, townhomes, and condos 1 to 4 units.
Oh, wow.
The only thing that we don't allow at this point is manufactured homes.
Okay. Not even double wides? Nope. Okay. And about how long does the application process typically take?
So with a renovation loan, you're looking a little bit longer than usual, typically about 45 to 60 days. We typically will do things a little differently to get most of the work done up front.
Okay. And who would benefit from this?
Anybody.
Anybody?
People looking to buy a home, if they're first-time home buyers or if they're seasoned buyers, even people that are looking to buy homes as an investment, I have a program for that as well.
Right on. Well, thank you very much, Steve, for filling us in on renovation loans.
Thank you very much.